The Supreme Court striking down the centerpiece of President Donald Trump's tariff agenda. And while that could be good news for consumers, many are wondering what comes next. Editor-in-chief for Investopedia, Caleb Silver, joins me now. Caleb, thanks for joining me. The president just announcing new global tariffs at 15%, but they'll only remain in place for 150 days. What impact could this have on global trade?
Yeah, well, we already know that the effective tariff rate is somewhere around 10%. So we're paying more than 10% for the goods we used to pay for about a year and a half ago because of those tariffs. Now the president ratcheting up that extra 10% he announced yesterday to 15% today. And what does that affect? Not all products, but all the products that were exempt from Section 232 of the Trade Act. That's steel, copper, aluminum, lumber, autos and auto parts, some pharmaceuticals, but also a lot of the imports we were getting from China. China already had a very high tariff rate on it. The president, again, ratcheting up the tariffs he was allowed to increase, not the ones that the Supreme Court struck down. So higher prices are basically here to stay.
So how does this impact shoppers specifically? What kind of things can they see start to rise?
Well, you think about some of the areas where we do most of our imports and where consumers like us spend our money. That's the grocery store. So we're still paying higher import prices on things like coffee from places like Brazil. Brazil had a 50% effective tariff rate on it, and coffee prices, if you hadn't noticed, had gotten a lot more expensive. So have beef prices. Now, some of that beef is produced here in the U.S., but the beef that comes from outside the U.S. had a very high tariff rate from places like Brazil and Argentina as well. So you'll feel it there. You'll feel it in Italian wine. You'll feel it in French food as well. Any products we're getting from Europe that were already not covered in those exemptions, you're going to feel higher prices. Now, sometimes retailers have absorbed some of these costs, and sometimes they've passed them along to consumers like us. It's hard to tell which products have that effect on. That said, we know we're paying higher prices at the grocery store. We see it every single week.
You know, we're starting to see this back and forth, this power struggle between the executive branch and the judicial branch. And caught in the middle are businesses, regular Americans who have to pay these tariffs. So what does this ruling mean for those businesses that have actually already paid these tariffs?
Yeah, more uncertainty. We know about 1,000 different businesses of various sizes sued the White House, sued this administration because of those tariffs, and they want some of that money back that the administration has been able to collect, some $140 billion of import tariffs. That is going to take a very long time. It's been pushed from the Supreme Court down to the lower courts to figure out. They're not going to get that money back tomorrow. And consumers are definitely not going to get that money back, nor are they likely to get those $2,000 tariff relief checks the president was promising several months ago. So in the middle are small businesses who are dealing with uncertainty about prices, and consumers who are just paying higher prices, waiting for some sort of certain tariff policy. And we've had anything but that over the past 14 months.
A lot of those campaign promises still up in the air. Do you think consumers will see prices come down in the short term?
No, I don't. They have come down because of gas prices. Gas prices have been relatively low. Now, oil prices are a little bit higher because of the tensions in Iran. But when you look at CPI, the consumer price index, that's the basket of goods we pay for on a monthly basis, that's at around 2.3, 2.4%. So it has mellowed a lot. But the things that we pay for every single week, right, the needs, not necessarily the wants, that's groceries, that's healthcare, that's a visit to the doctor, or even travel. Those things have gotten more expensive. So I think we can expect higher prices for the foreseeable future.
Caleb Silver, please come back. Thank you. Appreciate the knowledge.